Something that I will never stop being amazed about is the fact that there are Rose shoes being retroed that either I bought when I first started working at like Finish Line or when I first started collecting shoes. Like, what? What's up, guys? Crazy Black 108 here, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to be giving you a look at the brand new retro of the D Rose 4 and this Boardwalk colorway. And these are the D Rose 4 Restomods. Now, before we get into the actual shoe itself, let's just talk about something that I really just got to point out because I point out all the videos. The box. This is the classic D Rose box that they used starting with the Rose 3s, and they did it for the 3s, 3.5s, 4, 4.5s, and then they stopped using it after that. This box is cool because it's all blacked out. It's got the D Rose logo there. It's got the rose with the 3 stripes there. It's awesome. And then you have the name here, the shoe, the D Rose 4 Restomod. And the thing that I really like about that is the fact that it shows, some care, right? But all together, this shoe screams nothing but care from the brand, because this is like, maybe you could say they're taking a page out of Nike's book, but this is like Nike's Protros they do for Kobe, except it's a Protro or a Restomod, a restoration or, a retro modification, of a classic Rose shoe, being the Rose 4s. They've also done this with the T-Mac line. I think it's for the T-Mac 1s. They're the T-Mac 1, either they call them the Evos or they call them the Restomods. I think it just kind of depends on where you go and look and you buy them from, but it's the same basis because what they both have in common is that they've replaced the midsole tooling with bounce, which is awesome. And you can see that's advertised right back here in the heel. The original Rose 4s had an EVA midsole for pretty much here all the way to the front, but then the heel had a crash pad of Adiprene, so that was one of the big differences there. But otherwise, this is still a sprint web upper. You still have GeoFit in the ankle collar. You still have the sprint frame here that carries from the heel to the to the middle of your foot, which is nice. Some people hate the sprint frame though, so it depends. And the other thing too is that this tongue right here still has the GeoFit on the back of it, which is nice. But the other thing too is that it is missing the 3M that was used to be behind here, which you could complain and say, dang, they didn't really think to go that far, but I mean, I'm not that bothered by it because I still think it's awesome that they're doing this retro. Now, from the first try on, these feel much better than the original Rose 4s. The original Rose 4s, I liked them, but they kind of cut up into my arch a little bit because of how, I'm not sure what it is, but they just felt like they were better suited for a person with a higher arch than me, which, if I'm not mistaken, D Rose does have a high arch, but I could be wrong with that. My memory may be faulting me there, but these don't feel the same way, which is kind of nice. The bounce midsole just feels great, honestly, and I'm really looking forward to playing in them. Other little, like talking about storytelling features of the shoe, you have Derrick Rose here on the forefoot, which is cool. And then the other thing too is this traction is the same traction they use on the Crazy Quicks, so it's meant to be the new generation, like Pure Motion that they released at the time. So that's why you have this multi-directional, like herringbone sort of pattern. Traction was fantastic from what I remember. Wasn't as good as the Rose 7s, but it was better than just about anything else at the time. Something too I want to talk about as well that I like, and we're talking about care and love. The insole itself, not so much. This is like the insoles that they use in the Rose 1s and 1.5s. So it's not the ass thick ones, nicely padded. But what I do love is the fact they kept the same pattern or print they used here for the insole, which is cool, from the originals. So that's nice. Because the Boardwalk colorway was meant to represent the time that Derrick would take when he would go out to LA in the summer and train and play, and train with KD and Westbrook and stuff. So that was, pretty cool. Nice little piece and storytelling history, for you as well. But the GeoFit, colors, I love that. I also love the fact that the Rose 4s, the split colorway on them is just real nice. That's something I've always been really fond of. Another thing that makes this different from the OG is the laces. The OGs came with flat laces. These are like round laces, which is not a bad thing. Some people like that more. Some people hate that. I'm indifferent per se. So Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. You know, time will truly tell. But I do love the Rose 4s, and I love this colorway just so much. It's great. Now, I want to talk about the fact that, you know, they're putting bounce in these. That's pretty amazing, because, you know, I think about it, and, you know, if they were to do this with a lot of their retros, let's say like they do more Rose retros, they start putting bounce in them. Like, there was rumors originally that the Rose 1s were going to have bounce in them when they retro them, but they didn't. But these do, and that's pretty dope. The other thing that I think about with that, too, is the fact that, like, if they were to put bounce in, like, let's say the 2.5s, like, that would be pretty game changer, because the 2.5s are fantastic, you know, to put it in the 3s. Like, any of the shoes where they want to put bounce as the midsole tooling, I'm all for it, you know. It's awesome, man. This blows my mind to think that we're getting retros, but we're getting retros that have updated tooling, because that is awesome. And the thing is, you wouldn't know from a quick glance that this was a retro. You could think this was an OG pair, which is kind of nice. Now, some people may hate that, 'cause like, oh, I want, you know, my OGs to stand out. If you know, you know. Like, there are things to be able to tell that these aren't OG for, like, someone like me. But at the same time, like, I don't necessarily care. I don't need that. It's good when I'm trying to purchase, let's say if I'm looking for an OG pair, but outside of that, you know, I think people are just hating. If you guys want to see a full-on video comparison between these and the OGs, just let me know. I can, you know, definitely provide that for you guys. But I'll be focused on trying to get you a performance review of these in the meantime. You know, I have a game tomorrow, and I may wear these tomorrow, but otherwise, I'll be hooping in these, you know, hopefully in the coming weeks. It's been freezing here. This weekend, like, in Nebraska, it's been super cold. Like, it just no fun at all. We're talking like -20 and stuff like that. So I ain't want to leave my house. I ain't want to leave to go to the game tomorrow. I'll be honest, but you know I'll be there. I guess I'll be there. But the one other thing too, I do want to touch base on is the fact that these are gonna be coming stateside at some point. Not exactly sure when, but when they do, you know, I bet you Laylo will know, so that'll be something worth looking into, or he'll post about it. He will be told by someone, or he'll find out himself, or I'll find out and tell him, or whatever the case may be, because I don't really like using my Instagram as like a update like that, but that's what his account is, you know, mainly for the Rose brand, so I like that. But yeah, lastly, the one thing I do want to talk about too real quick is sizing and fit. So these are 9.5. The hoopin', these will probably be fine because they'll stretch out a bit. I'll see. Originally, I always wore size 10 in the Rose shoes up until the 5s. I think it was the first time I started wearing like a half size down, because my regular size is a 10. So these do feel a little tight on foot actually. So I'll be curious to see how they feel once I break them in. But, you know, worst case, they'll just be a little tight, you know. But hopefully they'll break in nicely, and I'll look forward to that. So I'd say, as of right now, I'm saying go true to size. So if you wear a 10, as Kick Genius used to say, if you wear that 10, man, get that 10, right? So, you know, that's a throwback. But that's what I would say, do, you know, get your true size. But stay tuned, because I may change my mind once I play in these and do my performance review on them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the D-Rose 4 Restomod and the Broadwalk colorway. It's super dope. Happy that Adidas is releasing these. Huge shout out to Adidas for this shoe. I really appreciate it. And, you know, I want to say huge shout out to them for sending it to me as well. And big shout out to others like sponsor for the video being like Lights on Nebraska for helping me out with getting a test run with the equipment. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching this video. Until next time, guys, peace. I'll see you guys around later. Bye.